Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that's, well, timeless. It's all about that one terrifying but absolutely essential leap. The one that separates who you are right now from who you could become.
And to really get our heads around this idea, we're going to follow the journey of a young seagull who's facing his own terrifying and, spoiler alert, ultimately triumphant first flight.
So our story begins on a ledge. Picture this, a view of the vast open sea. But for our young seagull, this beautiful view, it's not freedom, it's a prison. And the bars are made of his own paralyzing fear.
I mean, for 24 agonizing hours, this little guy has been totally alone. His family, they've already flown off, so he's just stuck there, trapped by this terrifying drop right below him.
And get this, here's the real kicker. His siblings, who actually had shorter wings, they'd already bravely taken off. But him? He had longer, stronger wings, and instead of seeing that as an advantage, he saw them as something he just couldn't trust, a total liability.
And this, right here, gets to the absolute core of his problem. It was never really about the physics of his wings, was it? It was all about the story he was telling himself inside his head. He was so sure, so certain that failure was inevitable, that he just kept running back to that little hole, the only safety he knew.
Meanwhile, his family is just trying everything, They're calling to him, they're scolding him, they even threaten to just let him starve on that ledge. They're taunting his cowardice, but nothing works. For the life of him, he just could not make himself move.
But, desperation can be a powerful motivator. And his mother, she realizes that all the logic and all the threats, they've completely failed. It's time for something a little more primal.
Okay, so after a full day with no food, a new feeling starts to bubble up, and it's a powerful one: hunger. Suddenly, the sight of his mom with a piece of fish becomes this overwhelming, almost maddening motivation. It's so strong it actually starts to push his fear into the background.
And her plan, it is a masterclass in motivation. She doesn't just bring him the food. No. She shows it off, flies tantalizingly close, and then stops, just out of reach. Now this isn't cruelty. It's a very calculated push, designed to force a choice. Are you going to starve on this ledge, or are you going to leap for your life?
And that, right there, brings us to the climax. This is it. That moment of pure gut-level instinct that's about to change, absolutely everything. And it works. That hunger just smashes right through all his reason, all his fear. He doesn't make a conscious choice to fly. Nope, he makes an unconscious choice to eat, and he just dives straight for that fish.
But what happens next isn't glorious flight. Oh no. It's the exact thing he was afraid of: falling. A monstrous terror just seizes him and his heart stops. He's plummeting down into empty space. For a split second, it really seems like his worst fears have come true.
But in that tiny moment of sheer terror, something incredible happens, something instinctual. That fall, it starts to transform into flight.
It's like his body just knew what to do, even while his mind was completely panicking. Without him even thinking about it, his wings spread out and they catch the wind. The very thing he was terrified to do on purpose, his body just did automatically. It was pure reflex.
Wow. And the shift is just so fast. In a matter of moments, he goes from monstrous terror to feeling the wind, to soaring, and then finally realizing he's not afraid anymore. It's a complete 180, a total transformation.
And this is the real magic of mastering something, isn't it? The act of flying becomes so natural, so second nature, that the memory of that paralyzing fear just dissolves. Poof. It's like he's been doing this his whole life.
And the family, the same ones who were taunting him just hours ago, they absolutely erupt in celebration. His mom and dad are screaming with pride. His siblings are flying these cool, complex circles around him. And when they all land, they praise him and give him his reward. You gotta admit, their tough love strategy, it totally worked.
So, what's the big takeaway for us in all this? What can this seagull's journey teach us about moving from our own personal ledge of fear out into the freedom of the open sky?
Well, I think the seagull's story gives us a perfect definition for any big first step in our own lives. It's not about getting rid of the fear. It's about finding a motivation, a why, that's so powerful it makes the risk of staying put feel even scarier than the risk of taking that leap.
And in the end, the journey isn't just about survival. It's about that profound, life-changing achievement of doing the one thing that once felt completely, totally, 100% impossible.
So that leaves us with a question, doesn't it? What's the ledge you're standing on right now? What's the fear that's holding you in place? And what might happen if you finally took that leap?